Thanks. Hey, Matt. Not unlike last night, I may have been talking to myself for almost 4 minutes. Hopefully, we've got sound now. I may have a bad mic that I had to do some work on. So, anyways, it is scoreless early on. Pretty even skate so far as Prentice works around, and the Gold team has their first power play and a great shot up front. I don't know if that was Brown breaking on that centering pass, man down. Now Brown chips it back in. Homstall looking to play it. Kanan on it, and Zahner gets across the red line. He dumps that. That was iced. That'll come back. So a minute 34 remains on the power play, and 10:43 left. Kanan back on the draw. Hasselfeld and Brown on either side. Prentice and Nicollet back on the blue line, and Ellickson in net. Working their way back around. That gets broken up here early side as Hoydal does some good work on the edge for Gold. Prentice looking for Brown. Brown to try to get his hands free. Comes across into the corner. Battling in there with Kohorst from the other side. Brown now pins it up. Here comes Kanan. Kanan turns, dials, looks for something. And Prentice just hops his stick. And that's going to end up back in zone. Working. All right, I think we got audio working again. I got to figure out why one of my mics isn't working at all because I've made the same mistake twice, so apologies there. Homstall working his way around the right side. Finds a little opening and just misses wide right as he had a little bit of net on that far side and not quite on it, and that gets exited out. Wilson to Jeffers. Jeffers flips one in, looking for a deflection is Meade inside. Now Kanan, far side. High up and over the top there as that one missed its mark. Another flip in by Jeffers. That goes wide left. Looking for some deflections or something. That gets hung up by Wilson and dumped into the corner again. 7 seconds left in this power play. Gets flipped in, point blank. Couple shots at it. Lots of pressure in early up top. And the net off the stanchion, and that is the end of the power play as Blue gets a nice penalty kill there with a ton of pressure on net early. 9:06 left here in the first, and we've got a 0-0 matchup. Fresh forwards in here is Clavin on that faceoff, leaning in on the post. Zone held there by Jeffers. LaRose centering pass had Meade on the doorstep, hops his stick, and that gets kicked out. Play back. Jeffers tries to scoot it out. I believe that is Cassidy looking to dump one in off the blue line. And Meade now on it. Looking for, that is Wilson looking for Meade. Meade now up front. He's got a little room as they out. Good scoring chance there, but does not find the back of the net. Clavin to Prentice. Over to Nicollet. Deflection out front for Meade. Backhander in. That goes wide left. Plenty of pressure here coming from the blue, but still no scores. And another deflection up front by LaRose and a cover. Houghton with a ton of saves early. We're not counting them, but looking really good in net for the blue team early as he has been under duress. 7:51 remains in the first. And a fresh set of skaters here for the Trojans is Hasselfeld, Kurth, and Altschul in. Kurth dumps one in between defenders, missing his defender back. And now Blue has a chance at it. Gold turns it around through neutral ice. Tries to dump it back in. Flips it forward. That hops into zone. And Bennett retreats to help that one out. That puck gets played off. I don't think that was on net, but played out of harm's way as Altschul turns, looks at the center one. That gets broken up. He'll turn and fire one in again as Hasselfeld had a chance at that. That gets flipped in and deflected. Altschul with a chance, and that comes off the other side, and here comes the Gold team out front. Playing it in, that gets flipped in by Fisher. Battled in, centering pass all the way out, and Altschul looking for Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld across the red line, dumps it into zone, and he's going to chase deeper into zone, and he'll be in a battle in that corner with Bennett. Bennett with a good hit back behind the net takes out Hasselfeld, and now Bennett will try to skate this out. Gets it to neutral ice as Wilson will regroup, and Jeffers will play that, and in comes a new set of line mates here as Jeffers skates one through. Jeffers ties up. Zahner and Jeffers get tangled up inside the zone, and it stays in, and that ends up in the net. We will regroup here deep in zone. 6:19 left in the first, 0-0. I'd argue shots on goal advantage early here for Gold, but 0-0 on the scoreboards. Doesn't really matter. And here is Kanan. Finds Hasselfeld to Jeffers, back to Kanan. Kanan with a little crease. That doesn't make its way in. And played out by the blue team. Jeffers looking to play it on the far boards. Chips one forward. Hoydal, I believe, is on it for the blue team. And here comes Wilson. Wilson trying to skate it through. Passes into zone. Broken up. And Kanan now on it. Broken down early. Flipped in. Centered. Hasselfeld, Comstall had a chance at it. Gold will regroup as Brown works his way through. He dumps that into zone. It should be played easily here by the defense as Brown can't get on it. It ends up out of zone. Brown working to get back on side and does. Kanan had Brown to the right. Tries to push one through. No luck there, but Hasselfeld has it. To Kanan inside. Nobody home on the backside as the blue team breaks it out. Prentice will work his way back around his own net. Tries the near side as Brown can't get a stick on that. Regrouped out front here by Kohorst. Dumped in and iced. So 5:05 remain here in the first. Slater's coming up with some sort of plan with me here on the draw. We'll see if they do anything. He does actually get it to me up inside early. Try 5-hole. Shut down by Howdy. Centering pass. That comes across the ice. Nothing there. Nicola then fires and again across the ice. And Prentice plays. A little out of shape here as that gets broken down. And Nicola back, but they've got a 3-on-1 chance. As Cassidy flips one in, that goes wide right. Now kind of an advantage coming back the other way for Gold as they try to regroup in zone. Just a little out of shape. He gets broken up his knee there. And Clavin dumps it in. DeRose there to stop it. Can't quite at the blue line. Does pin that blue skater off as Cassidy's on it. Tries the centering pass back behind the net. Centering out front. Flipped up. And it's coming out as Meade skates out with it. The race with Zahner into the corner. And Meade and Zahner battle into the back of the boards. Exit plan out here as Altschul on it. Wilson fires one, and that ends up wide left. Clavin will get a fresh skater in as Kirk was sort of trying to line that one up. Not sure where that got tipped in the icing, but it wasn't. That gets played up by Kirk.
Go.
And Hasselfeld chases Kirk. Regroups with him. And Wilson dangles his way through. Tries to get his hands through. May have had just a little bit off the side of the net, possibly tight there. I'm not sure if that caught something. Jeffers out at the blue line. He chips that in. That is saved. Lift up. And a really good save. Throw the cross. It's made a wide open net. Rip is lost. Huge save for Houghton to keep this game scored at 3:13 left in the series. All right, last try. I think we still have some audio issues. Hopefully this fixed it. Nicollet bodies up, holds that out. Brown, cross ice pass to Homstall. Homstall tries to cross him up and come inside rather than normally going wide there, and that does get poke checked away. 2:40 here left. That just out of Brown's reach, and that does get waved off on that ice. 2:30 left. Brown and Homstall, break on it. And here comes Blue. Blue with a couple of chops at it. Can't quite get it past Prentice. Prentice back to play it again. Still on the doorstep and in the back of the net. And goal! Number 14, Ethan Palmer, finds the back of the net. Any idea on the fifth? On the fifth, any idea who dumped that first one in? Unsure on the assist. I don't know if they'll announce it, but was it Palmer though on this goal? 14? All right, we think Palmer scores. So 1-0 early. Clavin will find the sin bin here as he went after Bertelsen back behind the net. That was a European soccer valued flop, but he pushed him. If it works, it works, right? So down one goal here. Gold has some work to do because they have that and a penalty to kill as Clavin on that, looking to get a little retribution, and it doesn't work out that way for him. Mead into the corner. Mead looking for a little bit of space. Back in. He's got Cassidy over to Zahner. Zahner dumps that in. Looking for Fisher, I believe. Cassidy dumps it back to Bertelsen. Ellickson with it. He slows that down, and that will just be iced. 1:09 left in the period, so this penalty could stretch just into the second period here by 8 seconds, if that's how it turns out. A goal here by Blue would wipe that one off the board with a 1-goal lead already. That face-off ends up back behind just wide of the net, as that was a little dangerously heading in there. Kurth on the inside, looking across for Fisher. Fisher out front. Kurth dumps that in, willing to ice that one and kill a little bit of time. No change here for either side, as there's 47 seconds left in the opening frame. Blue up over Gold 1-0. Up high off the back of the net, over the top. It was Bennett shooting one in from the blue line. Prentice trying to find a way out, battles in the corner. And that gets exited out, and that'll be iced. We'll stay here. Boys willing to just kind of chuck those out. And we are bringing some fresh skaters in here, two fresh forwards in Kanan and Homstall. Defenders will remain with Nicollet and Prentice in. 37 seconds remain in the penalty, just 29 here in the first period. Kanan stretching out, looking to break one away. Prentice tries to scoop one through. Homstall on the near side. Cassidy for the blue team tries to chop one across. That ends up out of zone a little bit, and a regroup here is going to do a bit to help us break this early. Zahner works his way in, and that gets covered up front. 4 seconds remain with 12 on the penalty. Kanan on it. And that is the end of the first. Blue with a 1-goal lead into the first. Gold will start the second period with a 1-goal lead and an 8-second power play, so at least the first draw will be with a player advantage. Good goalie play all around. I believe it's Houghton in net for the blue team. He's been shelled. They're not counting shots necessarily officially, anything that I see, but he has defended lots. And then similar on our side, Ellickson was kind of left on an island there on the 1 goal that they had, and has had several other nice saves here in the first. So fresh 15 on the clock and a 1-goal lead for Blue. Little friendly bump amongst goalies there, heading to the opposite sides they started on. Gold will be offensively right to left on your screen, and blue. So the gold team is in blue tonight. The blue team is in white, if that's not confusing enough. Kane and Homstall will be your forwards for the first 8 minutes. I assume Clavin will get out of the box in 8 minutes, and Brown, I assume, will join his line mates here. Jeffers and Wilson will start on D. Kanan pushes one forward. Homstall on it. That is just enough to kill that penalty. Brown now in. So full complement of forwards in. Brown now breaks into the corner, looking to get a piece of it. Gold trying to find their way out. Jeffers flips one in. Homstall bodied up inside, looking for something. Lavery playing it for the other squad. Brown just out of reach as the gold team's got to regroup here and get back on sides, and they do. And Wilson finds a little crease through, but eventually gets poked away. And Jeffers just replays this out at neutral ice. That gets flipped in hard and just out of reach for Clavin, and Jeffers is going to race in behind the net to play this one. He is joined by Homstall deep. That gets played out. Brown tries to break that up and does as Kanan turns it around. Kanan toe drags one in, gets through an initial defender, but broken up by the second. And played off the puck there was Turnen. Kanan tries to body it in. They do play body nicely there from a defensive level, not necessarily falling for that toe drag. And now they've got a breakout opportunity. Prentice, however, breaks. Flipped in on the doorstep and scores! I believe that came in centered by Prentice, and a couple hacks at it as Homstall finds the back of the net to level things up here at the 1:22 mark of the second. Carson Homstall with the first goal for Gold, and they are level 1-1 here with 13:35 left in the first. That gets played out. Clavin on the doorstep. LaRose can't quite get it out of his stick as he followed in and had a little chance at it, but just got hung up a little bit. And now comes the blue, leaves it back for Tainter. Tainter in on the crease, on the doorstep as Clavin tries to body that puck out, but it is played back by blue. And glove save to settle this down is Ellickson. So 13:06 remain in a 1-1 game here as Homstall levels the scoring here with a goal. 13:06 remain. Wilson. I should say Clavin to Wilson as LaRose tries to play that out. It does get held up on the blue line. And we got a couple of masks hung up there. A little close for comfort, I think, is Clavin and, I don't know, maybe Fisher get hung up. I think their masks literally got connected there. So all is well. No harm, no foul. And back again. Meade draws a little contact. That goes wide left as Ellickson lets that drift into the corner. Good body there by Tainter as he is Clavin there to return the favor on that. Zooms out as Prentice is there. Up front has Zahner. Zahner not all the way to the net but tries to center one. Heavy pressure again is now Clavin on it again. Wilson there bodying up. Centering pass out front. Good opportunity there for the blue team and had a net. And number 9 took a big shot, Karnowski, and that doesn't quite fall in. And now LaRose, heavy on it, puts one on net, turns, centers again. More pressure as Meade comes in. Sorry, I over pivoted there. Not sure if I got you on that. But good pressure. And now Max Hasselfelt looking to get his hands free. Avoids some heavy contact, holds on to it, flipped in, and Altschul centers and covered. Another beautiful save there for Houghton on the doorstep as Altschul turned and fired on a nice pass from Hasselfelt, I think, coming back behind the net. 11:43 are left in a 1-1 tie. Hasselfelt battling, gets pinned down by Cassidy. Played out, and the blue team skates free with it. Here's a little bit of a rush as Cassidy crashes the net. It does get broken up nicely by Prentice, but Cassidy maintains control. Centering pass up, and Kurth with a little room tries to flip one out. We've got an injured player behind, I think. Lester, did you see anything? Lester, you just slam into the boards or what?
Yes.
Like the action went away. All is well. I think that was number 2, Cassidy, getting injured on the play, whistled dead, and so we will regroup up front here as Hasselfelt, Kurth, and Altschul are your forwards. Prentice and Nicollet on. That gets played out of zone, back into zone. They kind of let that roll. I think it was played in by the other side, and that gets played in and covered. Kanan on the draw, wins it back to Jeffers. Wilson plays it up, looking for Homstall. Kanan looking for a little bit of a leak here on the D, and they do turn that around at neutral ice and re-enter zone. Gets turned around at center ice as Homstall's not at it. Kanan gets into it. Hasselfeld looking for centering passes. Brown was open on the far side, broken up nicely by the blue team, and now the blue team has a chance to break this out as Wilson got a piece of that, and he'll work his way back. Wilson flips it up to Kanan. Kanan has Homstall. Gets hung up in his skates as Fisher comes in. That gets poke checked away by Wilson. As Kanan comes free with it, he and Fisher are in a little bit of a battle here at neutral ice, and Wilson back on it again. Wilson has Brown far side. Brown looking for Homstall. Homstall with room here in front of us. He comes in, flips that wide left. Looking for a fresh skater in Meade. As Homstall back on it. He gets played up. Nicollet looking for a little bit of room. Out of shape a little bit. And he draws a penalty. Puck still live. And a trip. So the blue team will go into a penalty. It is a trip on number 12. Eli Tainter will go in. 2 minutes here with 9:44 left. First power play, I think, for Gold. And Clavin in. Cassidy, who went down injured, back in the game, so that's good news. Gets played all the way back into zone, but now Clavin here to skate it in. Heavy back check there, and a trip that goes uncalled. It does get called. Meade. Kanan to Brown. Up front to Prentice. Flipped in wide right for Nicollet, excuse me. Back over. One-timer looking for a deflection there for Homstall. Nothing doing there. They flip that forward. Nicollet tries to get a piece of it. Over to Brown. Back to Nicollet. Up front. Deflected wide left as Homstall got a piece of that from a deflection perspective. Up front to Prentice. Prentice walks that in. And another save by Houghton. Under. Houghton? Your goal? Is that your goal? No, your goal is it Houghton? Huh? Back to cover for his defensive mate. Has Homstall to Kanan. Kanan looking to find his way in. Does get tied up. And now Jeffers now in. Nice little lead pass up. Has Homstall. Homstall on the near side. Looking backside. The goalie kicked the net off. And fresh skaters coming in here for the Trojans as Kurth, Holtschul, and Hasselfeld will be your forwards. Wilson and Jeffers back on D. 2 seconds left in the initial power play. So the 3v2 is done. Kurth puts one on net. 16 seconds remain in the second power play. It's a huge kill opportunity here for the blue team. Down 2 skaters for about a minute and a half. Out. Wilson can't handle the puck off the blue line, and that kills the penalty. Even strength here as this comes out to Holtschul. Holtschul tries to find a centering skater just a bit late, and Kurth hung up in his skates. Holtschul couldn't get back to the blue line there, and a bit of a fray on the far side. They're good, right? Yeah. 6:58 left in the first. 1-1 tie. Trojans do get a change as Clavin, LaRose, and Meade are in. Nicollet on the puck, dumps that up on the near side. Looking for LaRose. Nicollet chops that in again. Number 8. Lavery plays that. And Nicollet on the puck again as Meade plays it back. Dumped in, and Prentice will chase this back behind the net. 6:33 left. Prentice plays it off the board, right on LaRose's stick. LaRose looks far side. That catches a stick, but was heading wide to the left. Prentice there to hold things up, near side. Meade joins the party, and here comes Nicollet. Nicollet on the far side, looking to backhand one in. Doesn't get all of it, but regains control. Centering pass as there was a breaking Meade out front. And that gets played off, and here comes Prentice again. Pressured here by Engstrom. Engstrom playing some forward, trying to leak out. That does just get chopped out as Clavin pops that back in, and a fresh set of skaters coming in for both sides. All 10 of them are new. Kanan, Brown, and Homstall at forward. Wilson and Jeffers out in front. Hoydal on the draw for the blue team. It is dumped into zone by Gold. Played out front is Wilson. Wilson tries to get one off, can't quite get all of it. Kanan looking for Brown. Brown trying to find a little room. On the far side, centers one. That goes past the goal in. Centering pass out front, sprawled and saved. Fresh crew coming in for the blue team. That gets dumped around. Wilson there to play it. Cassidy on it for the other squad. And Tainter tries to break one, looking for Fisher on the far side. Brown now has a piece of it. And a cheap shot. Come on. Give him 10. You gotta be kidding me. Cassidy takes the second penalty of the day. This one the cheapest of them all. Probably he'll get 2, deserves 10. It's ridiculous. 5 strides away from the play. Jeffers out front. Ooh, looking for a breaking Wilson out front. Can't quite get it, and that'll be iced and played back. 4:47 remain. Kanan on it, gets played out, nicely out of. Again, not counting save, but Houghton is on his head, stopping everything the Gold team is throwing at him. Played that up D to D. Prentice flips one in, that off a blocker. Regrouped here by Nicollet. Can't quite get back online. Sorry, and I didn't bring you with me, as the boys didn't get back on sides, and so we'll regroup here at center ice. 1:10 left in the penalty, 4:14 left in the game, in the second period. Brown battles in the corner. Bunch of action out front. Skaters hitting the ice. Played back as Prentice will regroup. 52 seconds left in the power play. 3:55 left here in the second period. And Prentice, with room, works his way up. Dangles his way back. Works himself back out to Homstall. Homstall back to Prentice. Prentice looking for Nicollet. Nicollet drops one in. Kurth pushed off that puck. Couldn't quite hold on to it, as Nicollet plays it back, and a regroup out at neutral ice. 23 seconds left as Homstall finds Kanan. Kanan tries to chip it forward to Kurth. Into the corner, centering pass, nobody home. Prentice out front, dumps that back in. As Homstall looking to work his way around back. Centering pass in, has a breaking Cook on the far side. Can't get a stick on it. That goes wide left. Kurth looking to jam one. Near side. Pops it in. And takes a cross check to the top of the head. Fresh crew in, or at least the rest of that line, as Kurth will remain. Hasselfeld and Altschul on either side. Wilson and Jeffers back on D. 2:57 remain in the second. Fisher skates his way in and finds the back of the net as goal number 2 on a good block out front. And I believe, is it Fisher? Braden Fisher puts the blue back up top. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because he blocked it, right? So unassisted, Braden Fisher takes one in, and the blue team goes up 2-1 with 2:38 left here in the first. Hey, you got to go drum on that table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Breakout here for the blue team, near side, as Wilson gets a piece of it. Jeffers there to turn it around. Looking for Meade on the far side. That ends up out of zone, but they remain in. And that ends up on the doorstep, played out by Wilson. Interference as Wilson takes a penalty deep in zone. I actually don't really understand that. Because you got to play the puck?
He's got to get hit.
Oh, this wasn't tight. That was cheap and ridiculous, but yes. So a power play here for Blue as we enter the final couple of minutes in. Puck on the doorstep, flipping around as Ellickson plays it out for Prentice. That gets flipped up, out and over the top. Not sure Charlie saw that one. Thankfully wide left as the blue team is working this around the top. That was out of zone, but not calling offsides here. Nice little centering pass looking for number 9. Karnowski doesn't quite get it, and Meade now has a little space, shorthanded, up the near side here. Comes across the net, nice little back check, has heavy contact in the far corner between Karnowski and Meade. Pandemonium, and Gold will go down 2 skaters here for the remainder of this period at least. With 1:04 left in the period, 1:01 left in the initial penalty, and two-man advantage for Blue. What'd they call? If that was a 2 and 10 and this wasn't, this is absurd. Pinned up against the board, killing some time here is Kanan. Kanan willing to hold it there, trying to skate his way out. Looking to get a little bit of shape with 3 men in here. They've got plenty of room to work. Wide left here, 23 seconds left, 19 in the initial penalty. That ends up wide left as a shot from the left wing. Gets up, now on the doorstep, plays that out. Plenty of action up front. Exited here as it can't quite get out of zone. Played nicely. So initial work done. We'll have a 56-second initial penalty kill and then 157 in the other. So how long was that penalty? How can that was more than 4 seconds.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, so they're off by a whole minute. Okay, so the other one released? There can't be.
I agree.
There can't be 7 seconds left on the second penalty. Or it can't be 7 seconds. It was way over there, and they played around with it for a minute.
It should be like 30 seconds.
But they got to fix that.
Yeah, I know.
They're off a minute.
Yeah. Kristen's down there. I wonder if
It was counting down. There was 7 seconds left in the original. That's not right. Little scrum near side here. The puck finally breaks free. Gets pumped out by Wilson to neutral ice here. And Gold brings it back in. Kanan tries to keep his edge as Cassidy works around the far side. Tries to lean in and gets played off by Wilson. That gets dumped out. 15 seconds remain on the initial penalty. That gets played in. And that icing will come all the way back. So 6 seconds and 106. We basically served like a 3-minute penalty and both of them ended up being 3-minute penalties. So something happened on the clock. So 6 seconds remain in the initial. Content to take their time out. Trojans now down 1 skater as Homstall comes in. And Kanan with some speed up the far side, looking to play that out. Nicollet holds off just in time to get his line mate onsides, and that gets dumped in. Kanan creates a turnover on neutral ice and a little bit of a scrum out front. 30 seconds remain as the blue team dumps that in. Ellickson plays it back behind the net. 26 seconds left in this power play as Homstall plays it, and that will come to a rest. 14 seconds now left in the penalty. Blocked back in by Hasselfeld. And Jeffers picks it up, across the red line, across the blue line. He flips a bouncing puck in, and Brown comes squirting in off the far side. Hops the stick of Wilson. Wilson looking for Jeffers. That comes back out, and Palmer comes in on the far side, and that gets dumped in. Wilson looking for Brown. Brown looking for Hasselfeld. Homstall trying to break free with one, and that ends up back on Jeffers' stick. Plays that out. Homstall. Homstall has some room entering the zone. Plays that in. Up. On the crease. Turns. Fires. Brown on the doorstep. Tries to jam one in. Nothing doing on the far side as that gets shut down by Houghton. Houghton racking up the saves. 12-14 left here in the third. Kurth creeping. Hasselfeld goes down on the ice, and out comes Engstrom. Engstrom across the red line for the blue team gets tied up, and Hasselfeld working up the far side now. Hasselfeld tries to body one through. A trailing Altschul can't get it, but Kurth turns it around temporarily, gets hung up on the blue line, and Kurth holds the line. Altschul in. Altschul chips it forward to Kurth. Kurth into the belly of the goalie. Back in, and it's in! Goal! Fisher Kurth from Altschul ties it up with 11:38 left here in the third. Fisher, right? Fisher! What's that?
1 point for Hoyton.
Put it on net. Sometimes good things happen. He has had no shame in the game. He's had one heck of a game. I don't know how many saves he's had. That one got behind him and just rolled over the line, in a tough goal there for Houghton. Mead now up the far side. Tries to chip it past his defender. Does. Dangles it in. Looking near side. Clavin on it. Can't quite put that through. Jeffers now working his way through. Flips it forward to Wilson. Wilson has a little room on the far side, and that gets blocked as well. Wilson turns, fires it in, and has LaRose back behind the net. LaRose can't get all of that one, and it's turned over as Blue now skates it out, looking for a breakout of their own. Fisher in. He turns, fires just over out of reach of his defender, but that gets centered. Wilson, though, blocks it, I think, with a shin pad. Clavin bodied into the corner. That pops out. Wilson looking for LaRose. Looking for Clavin. That gets held up temporarily as skaters get buried out on the line. That gets flipped up high over the top of the net. 10-27 in a 2-2 game here as Clavin has a chance. Looking for Homstall on the far side. Clavin stays on the line. Looking up front. Clavin tips out front. Can't quite get enough of it, and that goes wide left. And Blue looking to break out again. Nicollet, though, on it. A deflected opportunity up front for Homstall is just wide. Centering pass on the breakout looking for Engstrom. The boys dump that back in and just out of reach, and that'll be iced back. 9:52 in a tied game here in the third. Just inside 10 minutes, and so we should see an exciting finish as we roll through the rest of this one. Gold controls. Cassidy on the far side. That gets deflected out and regrouped as Homstall chases it. Brown breaks on one and can't get all of it, and they leave a skater free. That had a little man advantage as Brown's trying to work his way out now. Nice little pass up as that ends up on the stick of Homstall. Tries to chip it forward, can't get it there. Keenan on the doorstep, fires, and that goes high up and over the net. Up top, back for Prentice. That gets deflected deep into zone. Plays that back out, and a breakaway chance here as Cassidy skates in on the right side, dangles his way out. That has a little net open on the side, but can't quite get it free, and now Brown has a little room through neutral ice. With pace, he's skating his way in, has Homstall near side. That skates or slides by right. Kanan tried to work his way out, and another breakaway opportunity here for Cassidy. Back checked as that gets knocked down. Fisher turns, fires, and that ends up wide. Heavy scoring opportunities flying both ways here. Brown tries a tough, long cross-ice pass to Homstall, and it does not find a home, but Homstall back with it again and skates with it. On the near side, coming up the right side, gets bodied off the puck, but Kanan back on it. Back behind the neck is Kurth. Gets plowed into the back corner there. Centering pass in on the doorstep. All kinds of pressure. And he's covered. He slid in. I think it was whistled before that is proof. I don't think they're going to get this one. I think it's going to remain 2-2 with a draw here deep in zone. Rest of the line comes in here with Kurth as Hasselfeld and Altschul will be in. Jeffers and Wilson out in front of Ellickson. Ellickson having a great day with a bunch of stops deep in his own zone and a 2-2 tie here for Trojans v. Trojans. Part one. They'll play again later in the year. Jeffers holds the blue line. He flips that deep into zone. Kurth on it again. Centering pass out front. Max Hasselfeld was on it, just couldn't quite get a piece of it, and he goes down, drawing a trip. Lavery will go into the sin bin, and the Trojans, with just inside 8 minutes left, will have a 2-minute skate with a man advantage. Line change here as Clavin, Meade, and LaRose come in. Wilson and Jeffers will stay as your defenders out in front of Ellickson. Hoydal, I think, will take this draw for the blue team. That gets one out by Jeffers to LaRose. Jeffers handles that at the blue line. Bouncing puck in and covered. And another save for Houghton. You got a lot of saves. Yeah. What happened? I don't know. Somebody just, one of your guys just skated off.
Who's 12?
For us, Prentice. That gets played off. Jeffers back. Good little piece of penalty killing here time as they regain some zone time. Hoydal battling to kill time, doing a nice job of it. Here comes Hasselfeld, breaking out, looking for Meade off the far fence. But Meade does finally skate free with it, with a little bit of space up the right side. He flips it, and that is hot. And that rides all the way along the rail. Boys will have to reset, get back on sides. As Meade now has another run at it, near side. He skates that in. Clavin keeps it in zone, and he'll push that in. Far corner. 1 minute, just inside a minute left in the power play. And a chance for Blue to skate it out and at a minimum, kill some more time. As Cassidy pushes that through, draws some contact, turned around and blew on it. Stick, save, in, Mead dumps that in, tries to dump, flips it in, and that will be iced. 30 seconds left in the power play, and good pressure from the blue team. Down a man, and down almost 2 men for a while as there was a broken stick on the ice, so skated temporarily with 3. Trojans probably could have tried to skate that one out as they were trying to get a change and get some fresh skaters on. Homstall and Brown on either side of Kanan. That exits out to the blue line here. Has Homstall on it, Brown with him into the corner. Brown holds up initially. That gets flipped out and hops the skate of Prentice. Kanan on it now, looking for some space. Has Brown near side, looking hard ice across to Homstall. Homstall back to Kanan. Kanan pulled off his skates. And we are even strength here with 5:54 left. A 2-2 tie. Oh, we're down to counting time, right? Because is that clock? So we're down to 4 minutes and 30 seconds of running time, even though there's 5 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock because we only have so much time on the ice. Jeffers works that over. Wilson dumps one in. Brown back behind the net, centers, nobody home. Wilson, however, plays it on the far side, and that rings high off again, up off the top as Jeffers now plays it. That gets deflected as Kanan's trying to find a piece of it. Centering, passing, and scored! Homstall to Kanan out in front. And with just 3 minutes and 50 seconds of running time, Jack Kanan scores. Let's go, White! Wilson on the far side, now looking for Homstall to Kanan. Brown pressures. Kanan gets a piece of it. Loose stick out front as Wilson pushes a little bit. Now Kanan finds a little free ice on the far side. He rips one high up and over the top. Wilson there on it on the far side. He is actually going to skate through. He gets pulled off of his skates nicely by Karnowski. And that gets pushed through. That gets waved off as Jeffers races back for this one. 3:52 left. Kanan plays it back to Jeffers, and a weird bounce off the boards there ends up right in front of Ellickson. Now Kanan on the edge, flips that one in. That goes high up and over the board. 4:30 left. Kurth plays that back to his D. Plays that up to Homstall. Homstall pumps that into zone. And Kurth on it. He dumps that in. Ends up off the shin of the ref. And that gets played back. Nicollet on it on the far side. That gets chipped in. And Nicollet with it has a chance. Hasselfeld then dumps it in. No, Altschul, dumps that one in deep. Just 2 minutes of running time left. There is 3:50 left, and that'll ice and come back down for an offensive zone draw. 3-2 Gold team, as the other Trojans have. That's the first lead of the game, as the other team led off with an early goal. The Gold team tied it up. Mead now on the doorstep. Out front, chops that around. Puck loose. Nothing doing as that comes out, and Cassidy skates free with it. That goes wide left as they had a chance at that, but have to regroup here at neutral ice. Just 1 minute and 12 real seconds left with a 1-goal lead here, and see if we can hold on. They have pulled the goalie, and they're offsides. So that'll come out to neutral ice. There's an empty net. So an extra skater here for the Gold team. That gets played out with 30 seconds left. That'll get iced, but the clock keeps running. 26 seconds of real time. And I keep saying that a 1-goal lead, we are not in running time, but the clock will run out up top. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. The Gold team comes back and wins a late one here. 3 minutes of game time left. Hard-fought, emotional one, and that is it. See you, buddy. Frankly, never fun to play the other squad, but if you got to play them, you got to get a win, and the Trojans got to win here. I guess technically on guest ice. And that is it. Games next weekend. Unsure if we have any league games this week, but stay tuned. And if we can, we will be streaming. So thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure. And